AirPods as a standard, a new VPN option, iPhone repairs, and Facebook AI dating. This is MacVoices. MacVoices is supported by Take Control Books, one of the very best sources of clear, concise information on not only Apple's various operating systems, but also key Apple and third-party utilities and more. Visit TakeControlBooks.com and start your library today. Guys, we've used up a lot of the show, so I'm just going to hit some of the real high points I had for the articles this week. The first thing I want to make sure we do, though, is a PSA that Anker has recalled 500,000 iPhone power banks, discontinues a lot of those models because of fire risks. And I'm going to throw the link in the show notes. If you don't do anything else with the show tonight and you have bought an Anker power bank, please check this out for the models. Check it out for all the details and what you need to do, because this seems to be, Anker's a great name, and I give them a lot of credit for taking this kind of step. It's just a shame it happened in the first place. But I don't know how long it's been going on, but the last two business trips I've had, the airlines have made a big point of asking me if I have any lithium-ion batteries in my checked baggage, and if I do, take it out. And even if it's going in my not checked baggage or my carry-on baggage, they want them to be with me, not up in the suitcase or the luggage racks, but they want you to be able to see them or get to them quickly. And specifically have given instructions that if you think your battery is overheating, notify one of the flight attendants immediately. So somewhere somebody's taking this very seriously, and for good reason.
I kind of feel like power banks should come with a recall notice. Here's your new power bank. Your recall notice is.
Yeah, I don't know what to say, Jim. I don't know. I mean, we all know that a lot of them are made in China. I'm not going to say every one. And so are some standards being relaxed, or is some of the manufacturing just getting sloppy because of the demand? I don't know.
Who else is making power banks other than China?
I have not done my research on power banks. I don't know.
And especially if there was some being made somewhere else, I would think that would be a place I would trust less than China.
Interesting point. Yeah. So, but again, if you have any power bank, pay attention to this. But if you have Anker because of the recall and the discontinuing, please check it out. Check it out.
Getting a little concerned about Anker. I'm really getting a little concerned about Anker. I mean, this is like the third or fourth, maybe fifth one, the recall they've had on these products. And we've all loved Anker, and I'm still, I still have some good confidence with them, but I'm starting to get a little worried about this.
Dave, but it's only been the power banks.
Right.
So, that's where I'm kind of being careful not to tar and feather them, all their products, because
the other question is, or maybe are they the only company with the integrity to do these recalls?
Great question. Regardless of how, or why they've done it. And so, Jim, I'm with you. I give them a lot of credit. And so I might hesitate to buy an Anker power bank in the future, but I would never hesitate to buy any of their other products, because everyone has always performed well for me. Webb.
I've mentioned before that my company has a corporate aircraft. And if you remember, 6 years ago when the was it the Pixel phones that were or one of the other Android phones was catching on fire.
Samsung.
And because of that, we have to carry a kit on the aircraft. I think every other aircraft does too, to deal with this issue. You first think that if it's acting up like that, well, you can just throw it in the ice bin. Okay, that doesn't stop it. It's actually a aluminum style bag, if you will, foil type bag, and there's a foam in it that's an oil based foam, and that's what's supposed to deactivate whatever is burning up. So you think, well, you just put water on it and it'll go out. No, it actually makes it worse. So anyway, I just thought I'd just throw that out that we got a kit on the airplane in case this happens. So.
Well, physically, how big is the kit?
It's a bag. It's
just enough to fit the phone.
Yeah,
like
a little bit bigger than that. It's probably like that. Okay. So
I'm asking because a phone size is a phone size, but if you had a laptop that had a lithium ion that started to give you trouble, it's not going to fit in that bag.
I don't know if I'd heard of any laptops catching on fire. I could be wrong. I don't know that for sure, but I thought it was these accessory battery packs or the battery packs that are in phones that are really packed in. That's what I'd heard. So
yeah, and I
got to call Captain Dan and find out what the story is on that now. So.
Well, I agree with you. I haven't heard of laptops being an issue. But the way that the language that's being used is any lithium ion batteries.
Yeah. So
being a tech person, I guess I'm interpreting that in my portable speakers, in my laptop, in all the portable devices we have. Maybe they are just referring to, or the intent is just for the power banks. I don't know.
Well, like I said, this all started with that Android phone a few years ago. So. That was kind of where it started. Now maybe they've expanded it. So, but yeah, I got the 16-inch MacBook Pro here, and boy, I sure would hate for it to catch on, to do bad things.
You're supposed to slide the laptops under the seat in front of you.
And not put it in the overhead. So
no
seat warmer.
Oh, gee, Eric. Okay, so Marty, you're going to be happy to hear this one. The iPhone Air bend test is indicating that this is really, really difficult to bend, and that bending may not be an issue.
I get quirky every time I see somebody carrying their phone in their back pocket. Because I would absolutely forget it was there after a while, and my big butt would smash that thing. So maybe it's a projection on my part, but I just don't know what situations you're going to be in other than carrying it in your back pocket or maybe pressing it in a suitcase or something like that you're going to wind up in a bend situation anyways. So I'm glad it turned out the way it turned out. Is it the one phone that has a titanium frame? Mm-hmm. Or have the Pro Maxes turned titanium too?
No, those were aluminum.
Those are aluminum. Okay.
Yeah.
Best part of that whole discussion was watching just how entertained Eric was.
I was sitting here as Marty's talking, going about how his butt's going to break the phone. And all I could think of is, wow, I always wondered what buns of steel were like. And now I know.
And now you know.
It's buns of titanium. Thank you.
Oh, my.
Well, because I carry my phone in my back pocket and I sit down on all kinds of stuff. And I evidently never did the buns of steel video. And I don't have that problem.
Yeah. And you haven't looked at your ass lately, Eric, either. So.
Nah, I try never to look at it.
Wow.
That's not.
Is it on After Dark already?
Oh, I'm sorry.
There goes the explicit tag right there.
Yeah.
Man, I see women having their back pockets all the time. You go to restaurants, the waitresses, they always have them in their back pockets. And it's, sometimes they're tight jeans. I see them pull that phone out. It's like, how do you get it back in? But I see them, especially the waitresses like that all the time. It's just kind of, I guess, a thing.
So I'm really excited about the crossbody strap or that new magnetic strap, because there's all kinds of times when either my pockets are full or they're full of rocks or they're full of, sharp objects. I'd like to not put that. Yeah. So
Eric, I think the real reason you're excited about it is because I called it the tricorder strap. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No. Dave, Dave and Eric first, frankly, I'm surprised you put it in your back pocket. I would never even think of putting my phone in my back pocket. And Dave, you're right. And I'm not sure exactly why you're paying so much attention to the waitresses, where the waitresses put the phone, but that's okay. I'm not judging.
He's looking for phones accidentally.
Yes, accidentally. Yeah. But that said, seriously, I'm with you. I see it all the time, and I just can't believe it because I mean these things are not inexpensive, and whether you've got buns of steel or not, I would not want to be sitting on my iPhone. I would not want anybody sitting on my iPhone. So, oh boy. I'm jumping all around, guys, because there's some things I wanted to make sure I got in. Have any of you heard of this new VPN service from ExpressVPN called EventVPN?
No, I read that. Wow.
Yeah, this is targeted to Apple users. Quick disclaimer: ExpressVPN has been a sponsor of MacVoices, and I am an ExpressVPN customer. That's one of the two VPNs I use and trust. I think this is a really interesting idea, and basically it's free, and that's right there. That the first red flag pops up. So the way that it looks like they fund this, first of all, you can only connect one device at a time, but more importantly, you will have to watch an ad after you connect first, and then you have to watch an ad after you disconnect. Now, I've not tried this, and I don't quite understand how they're going to force you to watch an ad after you disconnect. The before you connect kind of thing is something that I see in airports a lot. That once you connect to their Wi-Fi, before you can actually get connected out to the internet, you have to watch an ad. So I don't know how I feel about this, except to say that I personally am more than happy to pay for VPNs, but if you are in a pinch or your economic situation demands it, this might be something to look at because ExpressVPN is one of those that has a pretty good track record. Now, the one article that I read said that I guess the terms of service have not been made quite as explicitly public as the main ExpressVPN is. So again, something to watch out for.
There's some significant differences between ExpressVPN and what are they calling this one? EventVPN.
EventVPN.
Yeah. Some of the features that people that are more security conscious want are not in EventVPN, which does not mean it's not going to be secure. It's just some of the extra features aren't there. You're limited to the number of server points you have access to, and there's a couple other differences I can't remember off the top of my head. So my feeling is, if you're doing anything where you feel a VPN is actually critical, you should just be paying for it, even if it comes from the same company that makes ExpressVPN.
Yeah, I agree, Jeff. I agree. But, again, there are people out there that I know that I think Tunnel Bear is still free, is it not?
I've been paying for Tunnel Bear for so long, I have no idea if they have a free option.
Okay, I knew it was free at one point, or there was a free option. Now, as I recall, it was time restricted. It's not like you could hang on there for hours.
Time restricted would be, in my opinion, much more useful or much more palatable than ads. There's another reputable VPN that has a free offering, and they don't do ads. Their restrictions are, I think, like time, and after a certain amount of time, then it cuts back on your bandwidth some. But the ad part, that would be enough for me to avoid EventVPN.
TunnelBear does have 2 gigabytes of secure browsing.
Oh,
Try
there you go.
for free. Now, I assume that's a one-time. You get to have 2 gigs, and then you have to pony up, or you're done. So
Well, I'm about to find out.
Well, there you go, Dave.
So if you didn't look, I put in our private chat that where you can download it on the Mac or on an iOS device, and it does have in-app purchases, so you actually can pay for it. So if you wanted to do that, so I'm assuming this is just their way of getting for a paid subscription, but it's just a different front end, like EventVPN versus ExpressVPN. When you pay for it, because I wouldn't think they'll be serving up ads that you're paying for it. I certainly hope not, but obviously have to look at the terms of service to see that. But I just noticed that.
I'm an ExpressVPN user. They don't have ads.
Right, of course.
Yeah,
but I just don't know. It's kind of weird that this is a free version that you can with ads, but if you pay for it, I would go under the assumption, maybe not, I should be correct, maybe I'm incorrect, that then there wouldn't be any ads when you pay for it.
Yeah, so it's just fresh this week. So if you have an interest in it, check it out. But Jeff pointed out the limitations. I think the article I threw in also outlines a lot of the limitations or the differences between their main product and the EventVPN. So do a little research, decide if it's right for you.
Hey, Chuck, took a minute, but I have the TunnelBear answer for you. The free 2 gig plan, that's per month. So it resets on your start day or sign up day every month.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not too bad. Depending on, that might be great for traveling, for a business traveler. That if you don't do that much business travel, I really have no idea how much 2 gig worth of usage would be. What, Dave?
That ain't much.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's not a lot. But in a pinch. Something that seems to have been always comes up to be a topic, and I'm throwing 2 different articles here into the chats, and that is the repairability of iPhones. And it looks like now that the Pro is getting pretty good marks on this, but also the Air is getting pretty good marks on this. There are the 2 articles. So I don't know. Has Apple turned a corner? And maybe. And I keep thinking, here we are. We're in the post Johnny Ive era, where it seems like maybe they're being a little more practical about certain things, or is just the market out there demanding, and the laws demanding the right to repair stuff, forcing Apple to do this.
Well, Apple has to repair their own stuff too. So, it's not just third party or independents or me wanting to tear my phone apart and put it back together. So the engineering thing, it's, what is it? A rising tide raises all boats. There's a reason that I don't know if they necessarily had the objective to make it easier to repair, but I think from an engineering standpoint, maybe they just kind of fell into it, so to speak. So,
fair point, Jeff.
My take is this comes down to Apple proactively trying to get ahead of right to repair laws, and that's it.
Okay, I think that's a very fair component of it. I don't know if it's the only component, but it does seem to be something that has been a big thing for a long time. Marty?
Yeah, I kind of lean towards Webb's idea that it'll make it easier for Apple to do repairs, maybe even do more on site than they do. But I also think this is going to introduce a whole generation of people who say, well, I put my backyard barbecue together. I could probably fix my iPhone cheaper. And they'll wind up going to an Apple store with a bag full of parts.
Yeah. That's usually what happens when I try to do home improvement.
Yeah.
You know, I end up spending more money than if I just hired somebody to do it right. Eric, I'm looking at you're kind of grimacing or something on that. I mean, is that something?
I'm thinking of my last repair job that I haven't gotten around to fixing. But I almost am wondering if some of this is also related to making Apple's supply chain more flexible. You know, if you can tear something apart and put it back together better, then maybe it makes it easier to assemble in the first place. And if you're not really sure what country is going to be assembling your products, or it might get shipped to another country that you didn't expect to have to ship it to, maybe I think this started by the making it so people can do their own repairs, but I think a side benefit is maybe more manufacturing flexibility later.
Good point. Barry in the chat room says all of the above. Better repairability might be a result of the unibody aluminum, at least on the Pros. So, as I recall,
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, because aluminum's a lot easier to work with than titanium. So maybe that's some of it. Guys, we're pretty much at the end of time. I want to make sure we have a couple minutes to go around and let folks know where they can find you. But we got to throw one more in, just one more. And that is that now Facebook is offering an AI in its dating app.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, nothing, of course.
Adds a whole new dimensions to hallucinations.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Marty.
Why anybody thinks this is a good idea? Marty, did you want to say something?
I think it's a good idea because when I'm sitting around on a Friday night and, feeling a little lonely, maybe I want to go on my Facebook page and see if I can hook up with a septuagenarian who is just really into conservative political viewpoints and doesn't believe, and is a flat earth scientist. That's what I'm looking for a hot hookup on a Saturday night for.
To be fair, who isn't?
I really wish I did show titles at times like this.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What did you say, Marty? A flat earth
believer.
Scientist?
Believer? Flat earth believer, yeah.
Flat earth believer on a Friday night. Okay. I got to find a place to use that somewhere. I'm not quite sure where.
See, I think there's a lot of possibilities with this because, maybe it provides translation. I can't tell you the number of times there have been conversations, you're in a grocery store or something, listen to a couple go through the aisles, and that conversation doesn't make any sense. But you put Facebook dating AI into the mix and, hey, I think I'd like to have, extra pickles from aisle 10 will get explained. I'm all for it. What could go wrong?
Says the man who just ordered, what was it, black oak syrup or something?
I just ordered 6 jars.
Black walnut syrup, yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you know how they are. 3 from each place.
Oh, so you're doing taste test comparisons now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, there's something to look forward to next week, folks.
I can't wait to see what Facebook Dating IA has to say about that, Eric.
Maybe it has an explanation.
Maybe it does.
How to explain your latest tech purchase to whomever you're dating. There you go.
Okay, we're going to end it on that. I'm afraid where this might lead us. Thanks a lot, guys. It's been a lot of fun, and it's a little bit different tonight, but sometimes it's nice to throw something a little bit different in. Let's go around the room, let folks know where they can find you, and then we'll head to After Dark for a few minutes. So I'll just keep the same order for the folks who are still there. By the way, Ben Rathig did have to bow out tonight early, so you can find him at rathig.tech, and hopefully we'll get Ben back next time or sometime soon. Dave Ginsburg, thank you for being here. Where can folks find you?
Thank you for having me as always. Really appreciate it. You can find me at In Touch with iOS, intouchwithios.com, YouTube channel in youtube.com/intouchwithios. I'm here. I'm on the Vision Profiles on Monday nights with Marty, Eric, and we have always a blast talking about Vision Pro. We here on Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, we record In Touch with iOS with many here on the panel, as well as on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network on Fridays. And you can find me on social media, Blue Sky, Mastodon at DaveG65.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks. You. Brian Flanagan-Arthurs, thank you for being here as always and sharing some of your information. Where can folks connect with you?
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. Best place to find me is on Tuesday evenings right here. In addition to that, please check out my website, brian8944.com. And then please also consider following and subscribing to On the Desk of Brian, bi-weekly podcast.
Great. Thanks so much. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Eric Bolden, at least we solved one of your problems tonight, so you don't have to go out and try to hunt down black walnut farmers. And we will look forward to the taste tests coming soon. Where can folks find you otherwise?
We'll let you know whether the new iPhones are sticky and easy to wipe off after I get done taste testing. I can be found on Mastodon at eabolden at mas.to. Otherwise, Mondays on Vision Profiles. Tuesdays here, of course, in MacVoices. And Thursdays on In Touch with iOS. Getting all of my OS versions out of my system throughout the week.
Great. Thank you. Thank you, Eric. You'll have to let us know whether the frog tastes like black walnut syrup.
I was thinking that just a minute ago.
Yeah.
Good.
This is going so wrong. Jeff Gamet, thank you for being here. I'm almost afraid of how you might follow that up.
Here's what I'm picturing. Eric's like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And he licks the frog and he says, you know what? This frog tastes just like purple.
I get that joke.
Yeah.
This is why I love you, Marty.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So when I'm not crafting jokes for an audience of one, Marty, you can find me on social media as Jay Gamet, and I'm active mostly on Mastodon, Blue Sky, and PixelFed right now. Then for shows, for whatever reason, and I do appreciate that you do, Chuck, let me join in on MacVoices Live. And Dave, still haven't figured out why you keep letting me come back for In Touch with iOS, but thank you for that. Then the British Tech Network, the Big Show, and the Mac Show, and I'm pretty sure they let me keep coming back just out of apathy. Then Brian Chaffin and I do The Context Machine, and Patrice Brendamore and I do Retro Rewatch. And Brian, you are amazing. You have been pulling up a sticker for every single show. Also, you had the most polite, where can you find me, of anyone.
Thank you.
I feel obligated for some reason to point out that Barry in the chat room says, I'm glad my dating days are over. That's Barry, that's what you think until your wife watches this show and realizes what you've been doing, and then it may change.
Yeah, it's her dating days you got to worry about, Barry.
Yeah. That advice came from Marty Gensius. Marty, thank you so much. Where can folks find you?
It's so much fun to watch the show live because you get to see Eric crack himself up, which I think is our kinship. We little things run through our head and then we crack ourselves up. It's all been mentioned before. Vision Profiles on Monday night with Dave and Eric. Tuesdays here with Chuck. Thursdays with Dave on In Touch with iOS. Occasionally on Friday mornings with the Mac show. All the projects can be found at thepodtalk.net. I'm going to announce two. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to announce two that will be recorded before we come back to Mac Voices next week. I'll be doing one on AI productivity workflow with some colleagues of mine who are interested in AI productivity. And then I'll be doing one with Cindy Rotz on Fade to Chat, movies of the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, the golden age of Hollywood. So.
Great. Thank you, Eric. I'm sorry, Eric. I'm looking at Eric cracking himself up. Marty, about the AI, the new AI podcast, is that going to be specific to the counseling area, or is it going to be a little more general?
Well, I'm going to pull apples that have fallen from the tree, and that will probably be friends I have in counseling that are using it and that have written articles on it. But the pathway of the show is going to be, let's hear what you've done with it. Let's hear what you've written about it. Now, let us know how you use it. And is there a process that you use that could be applicable to our users? So I think it's going to move more towards, here's some ways that I use it that maybe you haven't thought about from the guest point of view.
I love that, because that for me is the biggest challenge, is just sort of remembering that I can use it. And when I do, it opens up a whole new world of things. So I'll be anxious to hear what you and your guests have to say. So thank you. Jim Ray, I'm glad that you got your headphones out of the freezer and could join us. Where can folks find you?
Well, I was going to say, first look in your freezer.
Jeez.
If I'm not there, then check Mastodon. Specifically, ProVueJim, ProVueJim at techhub.social. Also, Marty, I'm wondering, don't you have a day job, and when do you have any time for that?
I'm quietly quitting my day job. No, I've got the weeknights.
Not that quietly.
Yeah, I'm. Their time is their time. My time's my time. So that's how it's working.
Thank you for the clarification, and Jim, thank you for showing up and again coming out of the freezer. So never mind.
Go ahead, Chuck.
Just
go ahead.
Dig yourself
out.
That's wrong on all levels.
That is a show title. That is a show title.
Thank you for coming
Jeff
out of the freezer.
says in the private chat, that is not a euphemism. Euphemism.
Well, Bixby, please give me an intelligent out on this if you can, and thank you for being here.
No, you're on your own. I just can't help you. I'm sorry. But if you wanted to look for me, and I'm not going to be in anyone's freezer, and I'm going to stick with, I'm on all the socials, same handle, WebBixby, WEBBXBY, but I kind of stick with Blue Sky. But if you go to any of the other big socials, you're going to find me there too. So
great. Thanks so much, Webb. Really appreciate it. Chat room, thank you for hanging in with us and contributing. We really appreciate it. And again, folks out there, if you are doing projects, we want to know what you're using and what you're accomplishing. So visit MacVoices.com and use the feedback form to let me know. This is Mac Voices Live, Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. We have at least as much fun every week. We would like you to have it with us. Come back and see us. Until the next time, and as always, thanks for watching.
Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with Mac Voices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, Consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.